specializing in virtualization technologies, and scripting, and automation. And I'm known by most people as @DiscoPosse on Twitter and by my blog at discoposse.com. And I definitely am super happy to be here. I want to welcome everybody to the program who's joining us live. And if you're seeing us on the replay, we're glad to be able to share this with you. And hopefully you're going to enjoy the Virtual Design Master program. So, before we go any further, I want to introduce my Virtual Design Master co-creator, Angelo Luciani from virtuwise.com. So, Angelo, welcome to the first broadcast, and why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, Eric, thanks for that. Hi, everyone. Thanks for participating. Thanks for joining us today. I am Angelo Luciani. I run the Toronto VMware user group. I blog at virtuwise.com. Although if you go there, you won't see very many blog posts right now because I've just started getting into to blogging. So you'll start seeing a lot more from me soon. So I'm glad to see everybody. I'm so excited about the next few weeks. I know we have VMworld in between, so we'll have a slight break, but we're going to be pretty busy putting you folks to the test. So I'm really excited about this competition.
Thank you, Angelo. So, yeah, this is a really unique opportunity, and that's what makes it kind of cool. We're pretty proud to be part of what we can easily say, I think, is the first ever IT-related reality competition. So the idea behind this is we want to focus on the technology community and a lot of the great folks that are contributing to it. So obviously you can see by the judges panel, these are all names that we've seen repeatedly who are authors and bloggers who've really shared a lot with us over the years. So this is a great program for us to be able to share and reach back into the community and bring up some of the next guys that can put their faces out there. This is the first session in our 8-week program, which we're going to have our participants putting their experience and their ingenuity into 4 challenges, beginning today with our first challenge. And what we're going to do is go through sort of a progressive growth based on the first session that we do today. And then we're going to build on those skills as we move from the traditional data center builds into some disaster recovery and business continuity, and then we're going to move into automation and then move into cloud deployment. So it's a pretty exciting and fairly quick progression. So it's going to be really, really cool. We've got some amazing people in the chat here with us today, obviously. So before I go too much further, I'm going to talk about our judges panel. So we have Chris Wall from the wallnetwork.com and Josh Atwell, who we know from vtesseract.com. As I said, we couldn't have Mike Laverick, who we know from mikelaverick.com and formerly from rtfm.co.uk, and then Scott Lowe, who, other than being known for his Scott Lowe facts, you can find him at blog.scottlowe.org. So it's a really cool opportunity for us, and thank you very much, guys. So maybe why don't you guys take a minute and talk about yourself. So Chris, tell us about you and kind of what brought you to this point in your IT career.
Sure, it's always fun to be the first guy to have to go. So I'm glad that
no pressure.
I saved Josh from the torture chamber here. So first, I'd like to thank all you guys for letting me take part in this and do judging, and I look forward to really making life quite difficult for those that are going through this process in a fun and exciting way. Other than that, I guess you were talking about starting in IT. I worked my way from the bottom. I was just a lowly sysadmin. No disrespect to my fellow sysadmins, and just enough time and enough digging in the coal mine. Eventually, you find a diamond. So just a lot of school of hard knocks for me. Nothing really special to say there.
Well, what we can do is we can revisit some of the really cool things, and obviously we'll talk a little bit about certifications in a bit. But we'll put Josh under pressure now. And Josh, tell us about your part in the Virtual Design Master and why you're excited to be a part of this whole program.
Hey, thanks a lot, Eric. Yeah, so I apologize for any background noise and my dim view. I am behind the wheel of a car, driving safely down the interstate at present. But as you mentioned, blogging at vtesseract.com, primarily spend the last decade doing systems administration and engineering, getting into architecture over the last few years, with a big focus on operational manageability and automation, scripting, and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the contestants, as we progress in the challenge, the ways that they utilize the automation technologies that VMware provides, and even those that perhaps are outside of that scope. And that way I can, one, see how you approach those problems, and two, I might try them out myself. So, thanks again for letting me be a part. I'm humbled and honored to be a part of this program.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for being able to commit the time. I know it's always an adventure. We've all got some pretty heavy workloads. So both participants and the judges and Angelo, we've got full daytime gigs. We're leading up to things like VMworld, and we've got that evening thing that we do called Family and Life, and then somewhere in there we squeeze some blogging time in. So it's pretty cool. So obviously. There's some really cool things that were able to bring us to this point, which is our sponsors. So I want to give a shout out to the sponsors that we've got here. Really, really happy that we've got baremetalcloud.com. So Bare Metal Cloud is they provision physical servers in their data center for you, and you can access them through their cloud portal. So it's a completely self-service access to physical hardware, which is really great, especially if you're doing lab time. But don't be shy. You can fire some good production workloads in there as well. So cost-wise, it's a great opportunity for guys to get in there and spin up some resources without having to commit to buying a big hunk of Dell or HP servers. So for your home lab and auto lab, it's pretty much hands down one of the best programs you can get. Mike Laverick actually has a setup with them where if you can go through Mike Laverick's site, you can get connected with a $100 coupon to use towards it. And even better, for the lucky guy that pushes through all these 4 challenges and walks away with the big title of Virtual Design Master, you're going to walk away with a $1,500 certificate for Bare Metal Cloud resources, which is amazing. That's a lot of lab time, and that's a lot of really, really cool servers to get access to. Second to that, we have TrainSignal.com. TrainSignal provides some really good video training, and they cover soup to nuts, or more, Cisco to VMware, covering ITIL, Microsoft, Network Plus, security. They kind of cover the gamut on things, and it's a really great program. And if you haven't already used it, I recommend you get in and get in for your free trial. And the first thing you should do with your free trial is you go and you listen to the Chris Wall vCloud. Hands down, it was the best way for me to get from not having vCloud experience and getting into actually watch it deployed, and then take that and translate it into a real deployment. So thank you, Chris, for that awesome content, and thank you, TrainSignal, for providing a 1-year full unlimited subscription to the winner of the program. And thirdly, we have to thank Radical.io. So Radical.io.com have very kindly committed their time, and they've created a really, really cool application for us. So you can get that on iOS and on Android operating systems. All you have to do is go to virtualdesignmaster.com on the front page, click on one of the 2 links that are up there, depending on what your mobile device of choice is, install the app, and then you can follow along all the way through the program. And even if you wanted to view those live hangouts, we're going to start to broadcast them there once we get things rolling into the program. So thank you to Ian at radicalio.com. Great mobile development team, and just take a look at the product and you'll be happy. So plus go in and rate it, because that's pretty important for us, as we want to show some love to Radical.io and the team for doing what they've done. So rolling back to what we're trying to do here, this is about community. We are all community advocates. We've come from the community, and that was a very important process for us. As I said, we want to reach back into the community. I've been lucky to have had great experience meeting guys like Mike and Scott and Josh, and learning from Chris and watching these blogs come through. So we talk about community as being people living in one place, practicing a common ownership. That's the de facto standard is what they define, but we're in a virtual community, and it's really no different. So, our participants, our judges, and our sponsors all help to support each other in really great ways. So this is now our opportunity to take our VMUG experience and our V Brown Bag community experience And the guys that we've sat with and watched them and learned from them, now we're going to take this and we're going to bring some new guys up in front of the crowd. And that's why we're really glad to have our 5 competitors who are vying for the coveted title of Virtual Design Master. This is going to be an amazing thing for the lucky winner and for all the guys through the program. This is a great opportunity to show everybody what you can do. You don't have to be a VCDX necessarily, but this is a great opportunity to show out and just get your face out there and really show your skills. So each of the challenges is going to have our participants really testing the waters on some pretty cool technologies. There's some really sort of open-ended experiences we can create here. We're not coming in with fixed requirements, where you can only use one product or you can only use one technique. The great thing is we're coming in with pure requirements that you're going to have to take and you're going to translate into a real solution. So as we walk through the challenges, you'll see exactly what we're talking about. So obviously, let's talk about the competitors right now. We're very lucky to have a good group here. So I'm going to go from my left to right here in the program, and I'm going to talk to Akmal. So Akmal Wahid, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me thank Eric and Angelo for organizing such a awesome event. So I do understand we used to get help from community just through email or chat, but you are bringing this community support to a great level, and I'm glad that I'm part of this. To start with, I'm based from Bangalore, India. I used to work with VMware some time back. I was in technical support team. Recently I had joined Software One as a solution architect, so I'll be dealing with several technology. Basically, I'm concentrating on virtualization. So my passion is about virtualization, and I would be learning more about the VMware products and the other competitor products day in, day out. And usually in my leisure time, I have my own lab setup where I try to work on new product release. I try to have my own setup and learn from it. And I have done some, mainly I have done a lot of VMware certifications. I'm VCP VCAP certified. So I'd be looking forward to learn more and getting help from you guys. And I was more excited to see the judges, because I used to follow all of these judges from past several years, 1 or 2 years. And I'm glad that I've been interacting with them regarding this project. So I would thank once again everyone, and I wish luck to all the participants. Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you, Akmal.
Thank you very much. That's a great summary, and like you said, just the experience to get in front of these judges is really cool. We were sort of the lurkers in the communities and forums, so it's pretty cool to actually get up in front of these guys, and especially in your part of the world, there's not as much VMUG travel going on, so it's probably a particularly cool opportunity. So next we're gonna talk to Joe Graziano. So Joe, tell us about yourself. Welcome to the Virtual Design Master.
Thanks, guys. Happy to be here. Basically, I've been working with computers since I was probably 11 years old. I got my degree in computer programming, which didn't quite pan out for me, so I went to the network side, did a lot of desktop support, worked my way up in a lot of different companies. I'm now at my local credit union. I'm the senior infrastructure engineer. I do all the VMware. In fact, I brought VMware to our credit union, and you couldn't have said it better. For years, I've been a lurker out on the feeds. I've been following the community. This will be my 4th VMworld that I'm excited to get to in late August. And this opportunity for this contest was to step into the light, to let everybody see me and get some experience to show you what I can do. Am I going to make it to the end? I hope so. Don't know that I will. There's some pretty intense talent out there. But I'm just really excited to participate and become one of the people that everybody recognizes. And like Ahmed said, like he said, the judges, Chris, Scott, Angelo, I'm impressed. Josh, I'm impressed by all you guys, and I'm really looking forward to interacting with you.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much, Joe. And
Thanks, Joe.
It's really cool. Like I said, I'm humbled just to be able to bring these guys to the table and just be a part of it, and I'm glad that experience is kind of being felt all around. So it's really cool. So, Jonathan, tell us about yourself. Obviously, we've chatted a lot on the V Brown Bag, and I know you've done some really cool things over there, and so I was pretty pleased to see a fellow V Brown Bagger end up in the competition. So let's do a little introduction. Tell us about yourself.
No problem. Can you hear me all right?
Yep. We're all good.
Great. 16, 17 years in IT. Fell in love with the word virtualization the first time I heard it when VMware kind of came out of hiding. I've been working towards supporting various size companies ever since through different technologies. Understanding business requirements. I came up through the tech support side, kind of like Chris mentioned. I landed on the management side for a few years, and thankfully I've been able to wedge my way back out of that, back onto the administration side, really keeping my hands on the technology. VCP, VCAP, DCD. If a seat opens up at VMworld, hopefully DCA by then. And really looking forward to working with everyone, learning from everyone, and seeing what I got.
Well, we're proud to have you in the crew, and let's say hopefully get you in there. That would be great. Obviously we've got a couple more folks, like I said, that weren't able to make it for some time zone challenges and availability issues. But so Gert van Gorp, he hails from Belgium. Like I said, it's 4 o'clock in the morning there. So thank you in advance to Gert for participating, and Gert's going to get our welcome package late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and that'll get him started on the program, and we'll chat offline afterwards, and hopefully we'll see him in the next hangout. And also we have Paul Valentino. Paul is a really great guy who I was lucky enough to meet. He came up for a full day VMUG here in Toronto. You may know Paul from the V Community Trust. I really would love an opportunity to speak about the V Community Trust, and maybe Josh, if you're on. Sorry, I know you're like on and off right now because you're mobile. But
yeah, I'm back online.
Do you have a quick second to talk about the V Community Trust? Because I know you obviously had a good hand in that as well with the most recent V Gingerbeard that happened last year.
Yeah.
Get that robot voice going on.
Yeah, we got some bandwidth challenges from Josh.
And,
maybe you should mute himself.
Yeah.
Take a bandwidth. I've cut off my video. But yeah, the V Community Trust is a great
Oh, we might have lost Josh. No problem. We'll revisit later. So anyways, we'll talk about the V Community Trust as we go through the program, because it's, from what I've seen of it, it's a great opportunity for guys that are coming up and may not have access to certification, and so it's able to empower guys that just don't have access to lab time and funds to get certified, and it's we all pool together to bring more knowledge out. So not just knowledge and community, but actually get some funding behind guys to bring them up and get those certifications. And so it's a really great program, and like I said, we're huge community advocates here. So if it's got the word community in it, odds are you're going to see some of our faces in there. So that's so we'll give Paul an opportunity to talk about it when he comes on in the next session. So as we look through the challenges, I'm just going to quickly walk through what it is we're going to do here. So as I mentioned, there's 4 challenges in front of us. The idea behind this is a progressive approach, taking what we've learned today and up to this point with traditional data center design. So we're going to give you a scenario today which is going to talk about a relatively traditional data center design in a very non-traditional way that you're going to have to do it. So we're going to take those skills, and you're going to be end-to-end. So it's going to have some network skills in there. We need to have understand hypervisor layer. You're going to talk about product layer that's in there, and taking these specific business requirements and turning them into a functional design so that you can present it to the judges. And then in the sort of vein of the VCDX, what you're going to do is you're going to present and you're going to defend your design. there's not necessarily a wrong design, but there's different designs, and what our judges are going to do is they're going to ask you really key things about why you made certain choices and what you think are the good and bad things about those designs. So, unfortunately, as the program goes along, we do have to eventually find a winner. So there's going to be, at each competition, we're going to have to strip back one of the competitors, and it won't be because they aren't good. It's just because we're looking for really key features and factors that are going to bring the final virtual design master over and above everybody that's in this pool. But the fact that you guys are here on day one is just a nod in itself. So as we go into the second challenge, this is going to be taking our data center, and we're going to add disaster recovery and disaster avoidance techniques in there. This is probably one of the hot topics these days, especially as around the world we've got weather events that are going on, and this is stuff that we're using right now today, and if we aren't, then we should be. So we're going to take what you've done in the traditional data center, and then you're going to extend that out, and you're going to create some really cool and exotic recovery scenarios, and it's going to be a pretty exciting scenario when you see what you're put in front of. Then you're going to take that, and you're not only going to talk about how you've provisioned it up to that point, but when you get to challenge 3, we're going to be automating and we're going to be orchestrating. So this is a very, very key step, and it's the difference between the traditional data center builder and moving towards cloud infrastructure. It's a very important step that we're all starting to take right now. We're taking it at different levels, but if you want to get to true cloud delivery, it's about automation. It's about orchestration. This is the difference between guys who are just doing their day-to-day and guys who want to be up there and writing these designs and just creating better worlds for themselves and for the other admins around them. So that's going to be a really, really exciting challenge, and then that's going to bring us down to the final 2. And as we go in, instead originally we'd wrap this around VMworld, but because of the timing and challenges, and obviously there's some resourcing problems with some guys are going to VMworld, and it's a tough schedule. So we've moved the whole program out to make sure that everybody gets the maximum time to show what they've got. So we're going to be putting our final 2 competitors up into a cloud deployment. And this isn't just throwing it down on paper. These are going to be live cloud deployments. So you're going to take your automation and orchestration tools, and then you're actually going to take that and you're going to deliver a cloud product for your final exam. And then you're going to be sat in front of the judges panel, and they're going to evaluate how you did this and what was amazing about what you did. And that's how we're going to find the virtual design master. So hopefully everybody's excited about this. I know it's kind of an unknown challenge, and it's a brand new thing, and so I guess we need to put out our first shout out to the actual challenge itself. Now, I won't read through the whole thing, but I'm going to highlight a couple of things, and this goes out to Melissa Palmer. Melissa's a NetApp SE, and she can be found on Twitter at VMISS, VMISS33. So Melissa was kind enough to submit a scenario for us, and with the popularity of a certain television show, this is all going to make sense. Yeah. And it's, the title of it is called After the Outbreak. So the short description is, the world is in disarray after a virus outbreak. And we're not talking traditional virus, we're talking about zombie virus. So you've been recruited to build an infrastructure for a wealthy philanthropist to use in order to put the world back together. This is going to be a really, really cool event, and so what we're going to do is we're going to take you right down to some very, very basic requirements, and then you're going to have to build out from there. So there's some pretty interesting limitations. As you have to build up this data center with a very specific ground-up scenario, we've put some really interesting limitations. One of them is all of your hardware must have been available as of April 2008. Now, that's an odd one, it seems, but the cool thing is it's going to tell us that this is traditional data center design, so we're looking at stuff that's out there today, because what you want to do is take what you've got today, and then as you progress through these 4 challenges, the virtual design master is the one that takes a current infrastructure and they can move that stuff to the cloud. So Melissa really, she reached deep into some territory to pull out some really cool features for us. So, like I said, all hardware must be available as April 2008. No 10 gig E, 1 gig only, so it's not about speed, it's about just having connectivity. Limited to 4 gig fiber. You've got a huge amount of storage, but you're going to find out why you need a huge amount of storage. And as part of our challenges, we don't have software limitations, especially on the paper challenge here, because we don't want to say that licensing is a requirement. We're not necessarily looking at costing. We're looking at ideas. So you're thinking best of breed. Obviously, we're going to focus on VMware technologies because we're all very familiar with it. But for guys like Jonathan, if you want to throw a touch of OpenStack in there, no one's gonna say you're wrong. And because it's post-zombie apocalypse, there's going to be pretty limited connectivity. So, luckily we have got some DSL connection for our post-zombie people who are going to consume these resources, and that's how we're going to build that. So, like I said, you're going to get your detailed diagram. We're going to post it on the site to share with everybody. And what you're going to give back to the judges through your work is you're going to have detailed diagrams of your networks and your server infrastructure, and use the product of choice and deliver in PDF format is ideal. We need to see IP network diagrams, so this is going to cover all bases. We're including virtual desktop and virtual application delivery, so this isn't just spinning up hypervisors and calling it a day. This is going to be pretty deep techniques here. You're also going to include a hardware manifest for your data center and a software manifest. So you're going to list out the pieces of software and hardware that you use, and this spans from network to server, so from end to end. And the idea is the more detail you can provide in there, the better it's going to be able to present. So it's a really, really exciting challenge, and it is just that. It is going to be a challenge. So, hopefully everybody's pretty keen on getting in. And what I want to do is maybe talk with Chris. If you want to talk about VCDX and kind of how you do these presentations. Oh, we just lost Chris. How's that for timing?
Yeah, of course it decides to kick me off right when you ask the question. Can you repeat your question and I'll try to answer?
No problem. So Chris, obviously you've sat in front of a few panels yourself and tried to defend some of your designs, and you've done the VCDX among a host of other certifications. So maybe quickly talk about your certifications that you've done and what you'd like to see from a virtual design master coming out of this.
Sure. Well, the list is boring. I won't put anyone to sleep. It's already late night in certain time zones anyways. The VCDX is definitely quite challenging. It's not so much do you understand the technology, but can you kind of describe what you're thinking and what you might have changed if certain variables had been different, and really thinking on your feet. And really, from my perspective, a lot of that comes from just dealing with customers in a very similar fashion over the years. So that helped me a lot. If you've done a consulting role in your history, or if you've had to deliver maybe to your managers or directors or something kind of higher level in your business, if you're an architect, it's going to give you a little bit of familiarity with how this process works. And I know that helped me quite a bit. I would say one of the biggest pieces of advice I'd give everyone that's kind of going through this process is just understand that you're not going to know everything, and that there's no person that does. And quite frankly, everyone that's a VCDX now wasn't at one point. So you're kind of on equal footing with everyone that's had to go through this kind of process. So just remember that confidence is king. Understanding your design to the point of basically being able to wake up at 2 a.m. and recite it and then go back to bed is definitely key in some instances, and good luck.
Great.
So Josh, now's your chance. What do you look for in a virtual design master?
Well, thanks for your patience with me. I'm glad I'm finally back online. I got onto Wi-Fi now, so it's a stable connection.
There we go.
The primary thing that I'm going to be looking for, and I'm looking to see, is taking the design and demonstrating operational awareness. Understanding that the design that you have has to be something that you can maintain, something that can continue to provide value to the criteria, so that you're not pigeonholing yourself unnecessarily. You're making concessions that will meet the objectives while also making the environment I wouldn't say simple, but something that's easily managed. You don't want to go down pigeonholes of lots of little exceptions and things, because those are very challenging to manage. So that's just one of the things that I'll be looking for and of course the automation components. Very interested in those and how people are going to integrate those into the solutions.
Very cool. And so as mentioned, we're not product specific. So if you're thinking vCenter Orchestrator, if you're thinking Puppet, if you're thinking Chef, then you're talking the right language. Whatever is your comfort zone, our judges panel has seen a lot of things, and so they're going to be very effective in taking a look at the solution you offer. And the biggest key factor in this is going to be the fact that you're offering it. This is your solution. You're going to propose it. You're going to defend it, and that's going to be your chance to say, this is the way that I do it, or I have done it, or I want to do it, and really, don't necessarily have to go and say, here's an out-of-the-box product. This is all about process from end to end. So, Angelo, what do you think? What are you looking for in a virtual design master?
I just I wanted to add one thing to the group, because I know the next few weeks are going to be a bit stressful. I hope the folks get some fun out of this. I hope we sort of give you the technical side, and you get the exposure to these awesome judges, but also you have some fun in in your designs, in your ways you come to your solutions. It's really important that you have fun too. So, but there are time pressures on the next few weeks on you folks. So, good luck to you all, really.
Yeah, no pressure, right? Okay, so we're going to quickly breeze through the schedule. So right now it's posted through the one link, and we'll actually put it up on the schedule so you get the formal presentation. So today obviously is August 2nd, or for Akmal it's August 3rd already. So, but don't worry, you're not losing a day. Technically, you don't really get started until the 4th, but don't worry, you're going to get your designs tomorrow. You'll get the entire requirement set. You can also post back questions to Angelo and I, and we can, we'll consume those questions, and we'll try and work out the answers as needed if you have any more detail that you require, and we can also post that out to the judges as needed. So you're going to have up until August 8th in order to prepare your product and prepare your documentation, and then submit that back. So at midnight Eastern on the 8th, that's going to be our deadline for the first challenge, and then from that point we're going to turn those over to the judges, and that's going to be just the paper consumption of it, and they're going to view those proposals that you give, and then at the next Google Plus Hangout, which is going to be on August 16th, that's going to be your opportunity to actually defend it in person. So that's going to be where it goes from just paper proposal to live defense, and you're going to get the real questions back from the judges. So we're really excited to be able to do that, and we're very proud to have you guys on board. There's but as we mentioned, it is getting late. So without further ado, I want to say thank you to thank you to baremetalcloud.com, thank you to trainsignal.com, thank you to radicalio.com. Thank you to all of our great judges and all of our participants. Angelo, you're my rock. Thank goodness we've got each other to lean on to keep this thing rolling, and we're pretty excited to take this into the next level.
Yeah, and I just want to add again, thank you to the judges. These four guys, don't think anyone knows this, but when we reached out to these four individuals, they said yes right away. There was no wavering. There was no, let me see. They said yes right away. And I think what drove that is more that this is a community-driven competition event, and these judges are huge on the community, on giving back. So I'm really, really happy and excited that these guys, and thankful that these four guys decided to become judges on the competition.
Angela,
and the
there's a check coming in the mail. I haven't gotten my check yet. So.
Yeah, it's coming.
That's
it's coming.
crazy. I was told I was just going to get a T-shirt and a hat.
Yeah, we got some special prizes. We're going to bring something at VMworld. We'll work on something. And I also want to thank really quick that you participants that stepped up and wanted to take part in this. I know we mentioned it earlier. We all have busy lives, and this is a lot of extra work that's going to be put on you. So thanks for jumping into this community event. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Angelo. Yeah, this is so. Like I said, good luck to all the participants, and have fun with it. Don't be, the challenge itself is created in fun, and you're going to take your really good experience that you've already got out there in the real live world, and you're going to bring in, and you're going to show them how you can be a virtual design master. So. That's how we're going to close out today. Thank you very much to everybody who was able to join the Hangout today, and look forward to getting your packages in the email tomorrow. As I said, any questions, fire them back. Feel free to tweet me. Again, I'm at Disco Posse. You can also find me at discoposse.com. Angelo, you can also find him over at virtuwise.com. And don't forget to check in on virtualdesignmaster.com. Download the app, follow the progress as you go. We'll start to post more of the challenge information there. And if you have any questions or thoughts on how you want to see that app come into play, then send them along. And like I said, the guys at radicalio.com are really excited to be behind us and give a great presentation to really showcase what you guys are able to do. So thank you very much, everybody, and have yourself a good night.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys.